Well, imagine being on a plane as it crashes into the shark-infested waters miles from nowhere. It did happen almost 4 decades ago, and now you can read all about it in 35 miles from the shore. The ditching and rescue of ALM Flight 980, and joining us today to talk about that book is the book's author, Emilio Corsetti. Good morning, Emilio, and thank you for being with us this morning. I had the pleasure of reading this book, at least most of it I did, and was really moved by the details that you were able to put together on what these people went through as their plane essentially plunged into the waters. I mean, this can only be imagined as horrific by everyone else who did not experience it that day.
It was. I had the opportunity to interview most of the passengers, rescuers, flight crew members, investigators.
And why did you want to write this book?
It's just a fascinating story. Every writer wants to stumble across an untold story, and this one here kind of fell into my lap.
For people who don't know, who don't remember, or who want more details about that day, tell us a little bit in a nutshell, I mean, if you can, what happened?
For a number of reasons, the plane ran out of fuel, and so it ditched. It was a DC-9. It had 57 passengers, 6 crew members. It ditched in stormy weather. The seas were 8 to 10 feet, with some swells up to 15 feet. It ditched at 3:40 in the afternoon, and the people were in the water up to 3 hours before rescue. So it was almost nighttime before the last person was pulled out of the water.
And the survivors that you spoke with, what do they recount? I mean, you were able to put some of their memories in here, but tell us a little bit personally how they were affected by that day.
Well, some of them are still suffering from some of the effects of the tragedy. Most were willing to talk about it because time had elapsed,
Sure.
and they were willing to speak about their experiences. But yes, some people were still affected by it.
And you did bring a little bit of memorabilia. It's a life vest that actually came from that flight.
Exactly. This is one of the actual life vests that were used by survivors. It was kept by one of the crew members on the Navy helicopter. There were actually a dozen life vests that were saved by crew members. This is the only one that's survived.
What is your feeling after you had the opportunity to explore this story and write it from beginning to end? What was your feeling about how this story affected you?
I'm a pilot, so I now know what it was like to actually be in this situation, and for a passenger, once they read the book, they can get an experience of what it would be like to be a passenger in this situation, to actually ditch in the sea.
And is that what you want people to take away from it?
Well, actually, there are some lessons to be learned from any accident, and especially this one. If anybody's in that situation, there are definitely lessons that we can learn from reading the book.
Yeah, and it's a situation you don't want to be caught in.
Definitely.
Now, Emilio Corsetti's book, 35 Miles from Shore, The Ditching and Rescue of ALM Flight 980, is actually available in stores. Tell us where people can go and get this if they'd like to.
You can get it online. You can get it at any bookstore. And I will be in Naples this week, tomorrow actually, from 2 to 4, doing a book signing.
Where is that?
Barnes & Noble at the Waterside Shops.
And you do have a website as well, is that right?
There's a very interesting website that has a lot of ancillary material about the accident.
And the website is?
It's www.35milesfromshore.com.
All right. Well, we appreciate your time, Emilio. Thank you. And thanks for being able to explore and tell us this amazing story.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. Good luck. And we'll be right back.